Hi all, thought I might do a short video on choke selection this morning. Chokes I have here are cylinder, quarter, half, three quarters and full, or cylinder, improved cylinder, modified, improved modified and full. I personally feel that an awful lot of people change these way too much, and I think they'd be better off with just leaving the chokes in the gun that they have. I just leave quarter and half in there for pretty much everything. We'll start off with clays, sporting clays really, because that's mostly what I shoot. I will leave quarter and half in because sporting clays, you know, they imitate, or yeah, they imitate real world quarry situations, and quarter and half will do for most quarry situations, so why not for sporting clays? If I'm shooting skeet, then I'll change down to quarter and cylinder. If I'm shooting ABT, then I'll shoot half and three quarters. A little bit tighter, the targets are on edge going away. I will seldom if ever use full. In fact, I haven't actually shot this choke in my gun at all. With clays I'll just use the same cartridge for everything. This is 7.5, 28 gram, 2 3/4 inch. For game I will again use quarter and half. For pigeon shooting, rough shooting, so you know, wandering through woodlands and down hedges, through fields, popping off pigeons, rabbits, crows, pheasants, whatever happens to be in season and what's around. If you were shooting close pigeons, say in very tight woodland, or you had your decoys quite close to you, then you might want to choose cylinder and quarter, or quarter and quarter. But I quite like to have something a little bit tighter in my gun, especially if the decoy is a little bit further out. Quarter will do for the ones that kind of swoop in and kind of, you know, just about land on the ground. You shoot that one, and while the one's still in the air, is pegging it, you can take it with the half choke, which is a little bit tighter when it's a bit further away. If you're shooting high driven pheasants, then perhaps 3/4 and half, 3/4 and 3/4, or full and full might be a better choice. But as I say, personally I don't use this. For everything in lead apart from this, which is a 34 gram BB in 2.5 inch, I think you could use everything in here safely. I would probably use everything up to say number 4 safely in full. That's not to say that anything bigger than 4 won't be safe in full. It's just that it would put quite a bit of tension on, you know, pressure on the barrel walls, which personally, although it probably wouldn't damage the gun, you know, I wouldn't want to. Word of warning with this baby though, this is a 3-inch steel, this is number 3, 36 gram, is you will only want to put it through half or less. That's down to because the fact that steel does not compress nearly as much as any of these lead alternatives. Again, these super dense shot like tungsten or heavy shot, you know, they won't compress as much either, unless you're using bismuth or game bores tungsten matrix, which is a little bit squishy. And often if you choose too tight a choke, I've read somewhere, haven't tried this out on paper, but if you choose too tight a choke, you will end up with a more open pattern. How does that work, you ask? Well, my reckoning is that obviously the tighter choke, the more you're going to squeeze the pellets, more they're going to be deformed. Now a round pellet, nice and round like a golf ball, is going to fly an awful lot better than one that's a hemisphere or badly deformed. You know, it's going to go like, you know, if you've ever shot a penny with an air rifle or something, goes and flies off in every single, you know, sort of an unpredictable direction. Same thing's going to happen with the deformed pellet. So Two-sided choke can work against you depending on your load. I suppose that'll probably work, you know, that the two-sided choke and more open pattern may tend to occur with a heavier load. So I would be inclined, if I had something a bit further away, to use probably 3/4 or half, and something, you know, a cartridge a bit heavier, something like a 32 or 34 gram to get the pattern density up. Again, if you are decoying ducks perhaps, or geese, then perhaps probably again 1/4 or just 1/4 in both barrels. Or if you're a single barrel shooter, you might want to consider chokes by Briley or Teague. You know, they've got some quite interesting chokes that fit in between 1/4 and 1/2. This is like their tooth, you know, whatever it is, 5/8 choke, which could be quite good because it will sit in between those and give you sort of the best of both worlds. But that's really it. If I haven't covered everything, then you can just leave a comment down below and I'll try and get back to you. Other word of warning with tightening the chokes is only do them sort of finger tight, you know, just till they seat and they sort of get firm. You don't want to really screw them in, else you'll get them stuck and you won't be able to get them out. The other thing is, when you finish shooting, take them out and clean them. Clean the threads, you know, clean the body of the choke, clean the inside of the barrels where the thread is. Never leave them in the gun, else they'll get stuck in, you'll have fucked your barrels, and you'll need to buy a new set, which will cost you quite a lot of money. So with that word of warning, I hope that's covered everything. And if, as I say, if you've got any comments, just post them below and I'll see if I can get back to you. Cheers.